Hey guys, in today's video, I have a really quick dinner. We had a crazy weekend. My son's asthma kicked up and I had to take him to the emergency. So this is a really quick and still yet pretty nutritious dinner. I'm gonna get right into it. By the way, you might want to know what we're making. It's picadillo and I'm putting it into some burritos. Alright, so getting right into it, the things we're going to need is an onion, some potatoes and carrots, and I'm just going to peel these up. And right now I do have some ground beef browning up on the stove right now. So while I chop these up, that is cooking away. This is called Picadillo, and this is Mexican picadillo. I know that a lot of cultures, like the Cuban and all that kind, they all have their own different ingredients. I think the Cuban one has olives and stuff like that. So this one is just a real basic. It's more kind of like a quick meal that you can serve any way you like. Okay. So the meat is browning nicely, and what I'm going to be doing next is adding in some onion. And I would have tossed the onion in sooner, but because I started with frozen meat instead of my canned meat or fresh meat, I waited to put the onion in so that it wouldn't burn. If I put the onion in first, then it would have a higher chance of burning, and then burning onion gets really bitter. So you don't want to do that. I stuck it in here right away and put the lid on it, the frozen ground beef. I put it right into the pan and just hacked away at it slowly letting it defrost. So now that it's defrosted, I am going to add the onion in and start letting that cook, and I'm going to add the carrot in also because that takes longer to cook. This actually really cooks up pretty fast. It only takes about I'd say 20 minutes to really cook, and I chop my carrots and potatoes pretty small so that the kids don't complain about eating them, and it usually works out pretty good. So this is gonna go in. I'm not adding the potato in yet because I don't want them to get too mushy. So right now I'm just adding the onion and carrots. I will also be adding a jalapeno for flavor. It's not gonna get it spicy. I don't think these ones are very spicy at all anyways, but as long as you don't pop it while you're cooking, and if you have it in the food, then it doesn't usually get too hot. And my husband likes his jalapenos cooked. He'll eat them raw, but he prefers them cooked. So I just stick it in here. It'll give it good flavor. And right now what I'm watching for is this is on medium-high heat, and what I'm watching for is for the onions to kind of start getting translucent and just putting that flavor into the meat. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt once I see that it starts becoming a little bit more translucent. Oh my god, that was a lot of salt. Actually, I think that might be perfect. I'm also going to be adding a little bit of pepper, and you guys can hear my son in the background. He's got that croupy cough, and so that's why I'm trying to get this dinner done. After this, I'm gonna take him and lay him down and try to put him down for a nap and just stay there with him and put the humidifier on because he sounds really bad right now, poor thing. Alright, so at this point, the meat is nicely browned, the onions are translucent, and the carrots have also given off a nice smell and flavor. So it is time to go ahead and add the potatoes. I'm going to just scoop those right in. And I also prepared a really quick salsa. I missed it on the camera. This was just kind of a backwards day for me here, but I'm still going to show you guys. So I don't usually add salsa. Usually I'll just go ahead and squeeze garlic into here. But because I had some leftover green salsa, I just went ahead and poured that into the blender with a piece of garlic and blended it up, and that's what I'm using for here. So that's a great way to use any leftover salsa. This was just a tomatillo salsa, and so it's not necessary. If you have an extra tomato to stick in the blender with some garlic, that's fine. If you have bone broth or whatever you want to put in there, usually I just use water. This is a very quick and simple and cheap meal to do. So you don't need the salsa, guys, so just go ahead and use what you have, but this is what I did because I needed to use that salsa before it went bad. So I'm just going to stir this up and put the lid on. It will be ready in about 10 to 20 minutes. As soon as the potatoes are done, and they're pretty small, they should go fast, then your meal will be ready. So just be sure to add enough liquid, whatever you choose to use, enough to bring up to the line to cover, just about cover the food, because you need the potatoes and the carrots to cook. Okay, check on this. It's been about 15 minutes, and so I'm checking on this now. I want this to be a little less liquidy. You can serve it like this. I am making white rice, and you can serve it with that, which I'll do that way for the kids. And for myself and my husband, I think I want this in a burrito. So what I'm going to do is cook it a little bit longer with the lid slightly off to help the water to evaporate more. That way we can roll it up. It's almost done. Alright, so it's right where I want it, and like I said before, I've seen people serve this like as a soup with rice. You can leave it liquidy if that's how you like it, but I'm being lazy. I'm not really lazy, I am busy. My son is sick, and ended up happening that I had to take him to the emergency because after he woke up from his nap coughing, and he was having shortness of breath, and I don't have a rescue inhaler for him, which I am going to do after this weekend's over, is contact his provider. So anyways, I'm glad that I did these burritos because I didn't have to worry about dinner, and yeah, he's doing much better now. He had to take a breathing treatment, and like a steroid breathing treatment with a nebulizer, and so thankfully he's doing better now. So back to the burritos. I'm just going to be rolling these up, and burritos is actually like a word for lazy. Like if you're lazy, they call you burro or burra. And it's kind of a lazy dinner. Like if you just don't have any time to do something very fancy, then you could just roll it up into a lazy burrito. So yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight, and it still is delicious and pretty nutritious. So let's get these rolled up, and I gotta go take care of my baby boy. For this, I did add a little bit of rice onto the tortilla to kind of soak up a little bit of that liquid, because it is still a little bit liquidy for a burrito. So I did that, and then I'm going to roll this up. It's pretty easy. You just fold it over and kind of scoot that end up against the filling, and then I bring up the bottom piece and keep on twisting it inward as I roll towards the other end. Hope that makes sense. Pretty easy to do. I'm sure you all will get it if you don't already know how to do it. And this is my husband's plate, so I cannot forget the jalapeno on the side. And that is it. Dinner is served. I've got to go take care of my boy. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the week, guys.